Yeah. Draft Boyz. Yeah.
Draft Boyz. Ooh, wiki. That was amazing.
Oh my God, we went rogue, lads.
I think that's the best one I heard yet.
Yeah, I know.
great.
Maybe it is. Well, hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of Draft Boyz, an OFPL podcast. We're mixing up a little bit this week as the managers decide to rotate the squad, and our hostess with the mostest is away on leave. We've got Tim filling in though. You got myself, Heato, on the mic, hosting as always, and Mylo filling in.
How you going?
Man, this is a great start. Love
I
it.
got to take you back for a sec. What the hell is OFPL? I've never
Official
heard this.
Fantasy Premier League.
Off pull.
Off-pull.
An off pull.
Off-pull.
Okay, I've never heard that before in
You
my
haven't,
life.
mate. You're not on the interwebs as much as everyone
It
else.
kind of sounds
Mate,
like a
I'm
sex
deep.
act.
Yeah.
An off pull. Like, I'm just going to have a quick off pull.
It's the big questions because people are always like, oh, do you play off-pull or do you play Fantrax? What do you play?
Oh,
Shit,
really?
want-
Oh,
the
because there's that
scoring's
other
different.
little fantasy
Yeah.
shit thing that people use not
Yeah.
to.
People still play that.
They play the other one where it's like defensive midfielders get scored relevantly, whereas here, obviously, official one always favors scorers and assists. Whereas
Yeah.
the other one, they're like, no, we need to make everyone else more valuable. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
that's it, boys. How are we doing? We good?
Yeah, good.
Yeah.
Feeling good.
Pretty good, actually. I'm excited to have Tim in the room.
Yeah, I know. It's the first time we've been on the pod together.
Yeah, I missed the last
Because
one
I
that you were
took
on.
Yeah, because you were away on holiday.
I was away.
Seeing Arsenal or something.
Hey.
Yeah.
All right.
I love it already.
You lose one weight and you get another one that has the same fucking joke.
Nothing changes. We're linked to, it's the brother sync.
I think it was a mandate. If you came on, you had to at least say it 3 times.
Yeah, it is. I've got 2 more left in me. It's good.
All right, that's it.
Nice.
3 max, yeah?
Yeah, 3 max. I promise.
Pinky.
Pinky. Here you
All
go.
right, all right. Thank you.
They're doing it, lads. They're doing
Yeah.
it. All right,
Gotta
guys.
do
Well,
it.
let's chat through our points from last week.
Yeah, our team. All right, I'll start us off because I've got it up on screen. Look, I had a pretty okay week. Back to in the 50s again, which is good after my last Heato effort.
Oh, thanks, man.
But yeah, I got to say my saving grace this week was randomly pulling the trigger on Bernardo Silva.
Oh, that was big.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you know why I did it? Actually, I spoke to Heato before we came on air because 3 people in our league tried to pull the trigger in the waiver wire, but it just worked out that none of them got it because their first option actually got picked.
Okay.
And I saw it and I went and had a look at his stats.
Yeah.
And they're so good. I mean,
did
they're
see
not
that
so
too,
good,
yeah.
but he's playing
Pretty decent.
and he's gotten a few assists with the double game week. I thought that was money.
And he plays for Man City.
And he plays for
Yeah.
Man City.
Big. That's a
Well,
big component.
that's a good tactic there, looking at what the rest of your league's looking to pick up if you need some ideas.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I do that quite often, actually.
I actually just didn't understand it. I didn't know what I was. I didn't realize that obviously the reason no one got him is because they got their first pick. I was
Yeah.
like, why did no one get him?
Yeah.
Like, why was it denied everyone? So that's interesting.
Sometimes it just works out for you.
It does. It does. And Timmy, how you doing this week?
Yeah, it was a good week for me. 74 points. It was a big
Huge.
one. I was
Wow.
really ready. I was thinking I was going to be getting over 100 points, but some of my players really fucked me. So, but Gundogan, my boy, 19 points in the first game, and then got injured.
Riding that train.
Limped off. He only played for 74 minutes, so that's not too bad. But
What a pickup for you, though.
But yeah,
He's scored like 100 points since you've picked him up.
look, yeah, he's been phenomenal. But like the thing is, my defense as well, week on week. Konsa, Zinchenko, Cresswell with 12.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
you got
crazy.
Cresswell's an
An
underdog.
assist, and Edison with 14 because he got an assist in the first game.
That was crazy.
Amazing. We'll talk about that later.
Yeah.
But that was spicy.
But just back to the Gundogan pickup, because I want to mention to all of our listeners that you were actually in last place for probably about, 98% of this season?
A long time, yeah.
And at
Most
one
of it.
moment, you were about 150 points behind second last.
You just had to bring that
Wow,
up.
so far behind.
Oh,
Yeah.
shut up.
No, but I've
I'm
got
just
to put it to you
exaggerating.
because you've used the waiver wire to your advantage.
Yeah.
You've jumped on people with a little bit of form, got them, and you've just, annihilated that deficit.
Yeah.
And I got to say that Gundogan one is so big.
Big. Yeah, look, he's been ridiculous. I mean, what has it been, like 12 goals? You got a stat there. It looks like you got a stat.
I've got something here just in fact that he's now got 111 points and in the last 11 game weeks of fantasy.
Wow.
So
Yeah,
and before
there's the
that
deficit.
Yeah,
Like, literally
before that
there.
he had 12 points.
That's so crazy.
Yeah.
So he
Absolutely mental.
When I picked him up, he had literally had one decent week, and I just was like, Man City player, go.
Pull the trigger.
And since then, it's been ridiculous. But look, I'm hoping I've got some, like Werner looks like he's on the way back.
That's true.
I've got some other transfers that I'm looking at. So I think I'm going to keep going up from here.
Yeah, I think you are as well. You've got a really nice looking team now.
I'm really glad you didn't bring up anything else.
No, all praise.
We'll leave all my
praise.
great waivers there. So,
Yeah, exactly. We'll start there.
I'll save that other one.
Yeah,
we'll get
some
into
more.
that.
We got
Keep
some more.
listening for some good juice.
Yeah. Well, I'll round it out, boys. I've got 50 points this week.
Heato.
Fairly solid week.
That's good.
Yeah, doing all right, mate.
You're
doing
killing
all right. Yeah. Cancelo with some points. Ingsy with some points again. Madison. Oh, I don't want to talk about that goal, but, I'll take the points. So
You got to take what you can get.
I do. Well, let's move it on, boys. I'm getting a bit thirsty.
Oh, you should be.
Timmy.
This is big.
Timmy, we're going to give you the chance to have drinks and food provided to you because you did it last time.
Yeah.
But you're like, no, I've got an idea. Let me take over.
Yeah, I had to one up myself, and this one's big. And I think just by getting the glassware to drink it out of.
Oh,
Yeah, and
It's
just while you're
tempting
getting
us.
that out, I'll just let the listeners know. So we're playing Snack Chat, and it's just where one of us brings in a snack and a drink for the others to enjoy and also berate if it's bad. But I don't think we'll be doing that today because he's got some martini glasses on the table, and I'm thinking he might even be getting something out to
I hope
shake.
it's not juice.
Okay. Talk us through this,
dark
Timmy.
liquid.
Talk us through it.
What we've got here, everyone, shout out to, what are they? Batch cocktails.
Oh,
Espresso martini. Jeez.
Hells yeah.
Pre-made. So very simply. All you
Cracking it. and it's
All you
ready
have to
go.
do, I should have done that into the microphone.
yeah.
You pour in some into each glass.
Wow.
This looks incredible.
Yeah.
I was not
little
prepared
bit.
for a cocktail today, but I will take one.
Yeah.
And
I am very ready.
then once you pour out half, you give it a shake in the bottle it comes in.
Oh, wow.
Oh, there's a whole technique to it. There's a whole technique.
This is my shaking voice.
Yeah,
This is
we've
like-
got a shake weight kind of action going on here, lads.
Yeah, I've been practicing all morning.
We should be recording this, and instead of the new James Bond, we should just be doing getting this out.
Oh, look at that
wow.
froth. Milo's taken some photos, lads. We'll put it up on Insta. Come follow us, FPL Draft Boys. You'll see what our snackage looks like. Man, if
Wow.
this is the drink, I'm excited for what the food's going to be as well.
Yeah, I know, right?
I know.
So
that looks
there-
delicious.
And also we have enough for 2 each. So
Oh my God. We're
Perfect.
getting lit. Let's do it.
there you go.
Perfect.
Let's
Now
have a
the
little
snack.
tasty taste. Quick chink. Little tasty taste.
I'll prepare mine later.
Yeah, no problem. Okay,
Ooh,
now
it's smooth.
Is it?
It's smooth. I
wow,
love it. Got some
that's actually
crinkles.
pretty good. That reminds me of Hugo's, like
Oh
2006.
my Lord.
Oh, it's like a churro but rolled up.
Ladies and gentlemen,
This
we have
is
a special
a
treat.
Kurtosh filled with Nutella with cinnamon on the outside.
Wow.
Oh my God. This is like an insane looking donut.
That's
Okay.
all I do.
I might
Insane
get this up on
donuts.
Instagram like straight away because
It's
it's
too
just
good.
like
Yeah.
like just nuts.
It's too fucking good. Well, Tim, I think you've done an incredible job. You've
Thank you very
definitely
much.
upped it. You've definitely upped
Well, you
it.
got to try the Kurtosh first.
I will. But before that, I'll jump in and give you a martini rating.
Oh, do it.
It's pretty damn good. I'm going to give you a 9.2.
That's
Boom.
pretty big.
That's big.
It would be a 10 if it was freshly made. That's the
I was
small,
going to.
That's the small thing, but it's very delicious.
I was actually going to, and I realized that I didn't have any vodka at home, so I had to just go with this.
I think that's a harsh rating. The first time we get cocktails on air and you're giving it a 9.2.
Look, that's how it is. That's the game, mate. That's the game.
It's the game.
All
the
right,
game.
I'm going to give an honest one, and I'm going to say that this is an 11.
Oh, Jesus.
Is that big? Do you want to get like one of those a season?
Yeah, that's
11.
It seems like it. That is,
Legs 11.
That is legs 11.
Legs 11. Now I'm going to prepare mine.
I know. Well, Milo, let's
Jump
give us a
into
little,
the,
little taste of the Katosh special.
Yeah. Did you bake this,
Nutella.
Tim?
No.
Oh,
it's-
God, if Tim could make this,
I bought it down the road.
Okay.
It's just down the road from here.
it's so good.
It's essentially.
Cinnamon, Nutella, what a combo.
And it's still warm.
Beautiful.
Yeah, that was why I was a little bit late because I was waiting for my Kurtosh.
So good. 9.8.
9.8.
9.9.
No. This is big. This is a big week for me.
What a week.
You know what? I'm not going to work for the rest of the week. This is just too good. Let's just get fucked up, lads.
Let's.
He's on a high.
I'm leaving my car here.
Well, lads, I don't know how we top that, but we're going to try. We're going to jump in and start previewing some games now.
Yeah, please. What is it? Lexington Hill Cocktail Club? Shout out, please. You don't listen to it, obviously, but we could have more of these, right?
Yeah, hit us up.
We'll put them in a hashtag. They'll find it.
Let's
Yeah.
do it. Let's do it.
And they will love it.
All right, guys. So games. What we do here on Draft Boys, we look ahead at all the upcoming fixtures whilst reviewing how the teams went last week. So we're going to jump into the first game of next week is Wolves versus Leeds.
Yeah.
So Wolves this week, they won 2-1 against Southampton. Sorry, in game week 24.
Mm-hmm.
And Leeds lost to Arsenal.
They did. So actually, I was pretty impressed by Wolves because they haven't actually had a win in a while. They've had a few draws recently and lots of losses. It's really good to see Heato back on the score sheet with
And
that.
what a goal that was.
That was pretty what?
That angle, that was ridiculous.
I mean, you could just put that as like goal of the season straight away.
Goal of the season.
goal of the season, add to the list.
It's on the list, boys.
I think it might be top of the list. Like that is pretty sex.
Mate, I literally had deja vu of Salah when he sat down Vertonghen.
Oh, yeah.
In that goal. It was the
That's
same thing.
good.
It was the left foot,
Yep.
the shimmy to along the line, and then slots it in.
So
It was
good.
beautiful.
And what about Neves?
Yeah, on the pens.
You guys laughed at me a few weeks ago when I made the call.
Look, we just like to laugh at you.
He scored
generally.
3 goals since then in about 6 weeks.
Yeah, it's pretty big.
It's not a bad return for a holding midfielder. I'll give it to you.
Which is, I mean, if you think about other holding midfielders out there, it seems to be a trend that holding midfielders are getting in better positions. So
It just goes to my strategy about this season, and pen takers are just so important.
Yeah, definitely. Pens all round.
VAR has just made that happen.
yeah,
Yeah, 100%. And it's, consistent. And he's got a few long range shots in him. So,
which is
Yeah,
why
I
I've
quite
just
like
picked
him.
up Jorginho
Yeah.
because he's now in favor of Tuchel. So I'm like pen taker.
Did you listen to last week's episode?
I listen. I know. I've just listened to about the pen takers, and I saw him in favor. I actually picked him up before listening to the episode and just jumped on him straight away.
Perfect.
you didn't listen to the part where after he said that we ripped into him. You obviously stopped.
No, I stopped with the good facts.
Stop and then just,
and then
that's
I get,
it.
And then I get rid of the shit
Yeah.
banter.
Just scrub
that's
through,
it. He
Just scrub
listens-
through the episode.
He
to find
listens to
random
me,
words.
and then as soon as you guys start talking, he just mutes, and then he knows. I send him like a little bit of a log of when I
Hello,
talk.
you're noting it down. I
Yeah.
wonder what you were doing over there.
But besides from that, with the goal scorers, did you guys make anything else from that Wolves performance?
I thought it was pretty quiet on Wolves' side besides the goals.
Yeah.
It wasn't. There's a good save in there from Patricio from a Redmond strike. But yeah, I wasn't too kind of thrown off by anyone particularly. They were the standout moments, I think, and they were pretty big moments. So
They didn't really, because I was watching the highlights. It was, to be honest, mostly Southampton.
Yeah.
yeah, it was
They didn't
mostly-
do much.
Yeah, I agree with that. So what about Leeds boys? They have had their classic swing where they will win a game, smash it. They'll now get pumped.
Yeah.
That's happened again. So Arsenal, your boys Mylo. That's my number one. It's my first go.
It's 3 total. It's not
3
3
total.
each. Come on, that's
I
bullshit.
hope I didn't burn it then. Well, I guess we're
Shit,
on.
that was a bit of a burn.
Yeah.
We'll leave the
That's
last
all right.
one. We'll leave the last one to last.
Yeah.
But yeah. So what do you reckon about Leeds? They all, they pulled it back at the end a little bit, but
Yeah.
a little bit too late.
It's like that Leeds roller coaster that we're on. We're strapped in from game week 1 when they pumped someone 3-0.
Wasn't it?
Game week 1, they lost 4-3 to Liverpool.
Oh, it was the and then they won
mental.
4-3
Then they
the week
smashed
after.
someone,
Yeah,
yeah.
sorry.
Was it Brighton? Who was it? They
Something.
I can't remember.
Smashed him.
But I do know my boy Bamford has, just been involved in like all of it. Besides this week, which I was pretty surprised.
Yeah, normally I'd say even if they get some goals, your fantasy's a nice prospect, but we had 2 random, point returners this week.
Yeah. So Costa and Struck.
I have no idea how to say it. Struck. I think it's Strauk. But I
Strout.
don't know how to spell it, so I wrote in a random.
We'll go with Strudel.
Strudel noodle.
Strudel
But
noodle.
that was a
Apple
powerful
strudel.
header.
It was.
Commanding.
Very commanding.
Yeah.
Came in, thundered that home. But yeah, what do you guys reckon about the other goal?
The Costa.
Costa
Yeah.
goal.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like, he was on that great run of form earlier on in the season.
I had him then.
You did have him.
Yeah.
And then it kind of reminded me that he's still in the team.
Yeah.
No, but you know what I mean? Just looking at it from a
Yeah,
fantasy
exactly.
perspective,
Yeah.
you know, he's free in our league. So I think I need Leeds players, especially for this game
I
week.
don't think I'll jump on him that quick though. I feel like if you actually look at his stats from the past, he did well, and then for some reason he just got dropped. He had one bad week, but there was just such a heavy rotation in the squad, and then he's been off for so long. Is there an injury at Leeds that would lead him to come on? Because he's subbed on as well. He didn't start.
Yeah, that's true.
So I
I
don't.
hope it's Harrison.
Well,
Yeah, but
Fuck you, Whitey.
Yeah, let's talk. Oh, I forgot about that. Let's trash talk him this episode.
Oh, yeah. I'm actually thinking that okay, so just so the listeners know, we're in Whitey's house right now. He's on holidays. We have the keys. I think we should change the locks.
Oh, that's a good
I
idea.
already took a shit in the toilet, didn't flush. So enjoy that, Chris.
Love it. Love it.
But yeah, with Leeds, they've got the double game week this week. So I think that's why I'm thinking about picking up Costa
Just
Yeah,
that
that's true.
rotation.
just for the week.
It's a little bit tricky. They've got Wolves, then Southampton. Not the best two
No.
teams to
Not
be
horrible,
banking
though.
on.
Yeah,
not
I
horrible,
think
but it's
pretty good.
Yeah, two
good
teams
enough.
that are pretty strong.
It's not Man City Tottenham, you know? So.
No, it's not. But yeah, any kind of, besides that, boys, any more call outs before we move on?
Not really, actually, with this one.
No, not for Leeds.
All right, let's do it. Let's move on then. Let's chat Southampton versus Chelsea. So Southampton, again, the second team with 2 games this week. Obviously got their second game against Leeds. But let's chat about Southampton specifically from Wolves. They lost 2-1.
They did. Really early chance from Minamino.
Yeah, very early. He's looking lively.
He's looking good, yeah.
Really lively. Again, my closest competitor in fantasy is Whitey, who has him. So I'm hoping that he stays quiet.
Yeah.
But he does look very lively. And if he's not already gone in your drafts, I think he's
He should be.
definitely a pickup.
Well, he's come straight into the starting team. There's definitely no let's see how he goes, and he's just another option. They seem to quite like him. They wanted him for a reason. So
Yeah.
I'm just hoping it works out well because I'd love to see him
Who
back
did
at
they
Liverpool.
drop? Who was on that left wing?
I think Walcott's taking a break from memory.
But wasn't he playing on the right wing?
I think they moved them around a little bit, to be honest, but they have a weird formation. They kind of play like a 2-2-2 up the middle
Yeah.
normally with like Romeo and Ward-Prowse, and then they have Armstrong and someone else, and then Che and Ingsy up front.
I got to give a shout out to Armstrong. He's been
man.
very, very consistent, and I've been looking at him for a few weeks.
Yeah, what an assist as well.
Oh.
Well worked down the side to
Did you
cross
see him
that in.
split those 2 defenders as well? Just
Yeah.
literally put it through and just went between them. It was great.
It was filthy.
That was and then a great volley from Ingsy as well. Hey? He's just clinical, man.
That
He
was
is ridiculous.
so good.
I saw a stat where it was like, I think it was since the start of 2020, there's only like 5 strikers who have scored, or 5 players who have scored 20 goals, and he's in that.
How old is
With
he?
like Salah, Aubameyang, like a player you wouldn't have expected.
Wow, and he had quite a few injuries as well.
Yeah, but he killed it last year, and he's obviously kicked off this year too.
How old is Ings?
I think he's like 27, maybe.
Fuck, he looks 40
I think
years
he's
old.
Yeah, he looks young, older than what he is.
Yeah, he was like 23 when Liverpool signed him, I think, around about that age. So
That's crazy.
it's just that beard. He's got that rugged
yeah,
look,
it is.
doesn't he?
Yeah, it makes him look older.
Yeah, so that was pretty good. That was their one goal, but they looked okay. There was a couple shots, but it was a bit cagey, that match.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, boys, we've still got 2 Chelsea fans in the room, to my dismay. Unfortunately, I'm still outnumbered, but let's chat through Chelsea's win. Hey, they won 2-0 against Newcastle.
Yeah, it was. Look, it was definitely much better. It was kind of weird seeing Kepa back on the pitch.
Yeah, talk to me, boys. How'd that feel?
I don't understand it really, but
I was scared, but he did really impress me. He played well. He did 2 great saves, actually.
Yeah.
One very, very good, but the other one was good as well, kept us in the game. But yeah, I'm really, really excited about Werner.
yeah,
I have to say,
What a goal, though.
yeah. But sometimes you just need that to get
something
going.
to trickle over the line.
dude, he put his whole body. If it didn't hit his leg, it was going to hit his chest or his head. He just literally went sideways to make sure that went in.
He would have quickly gotten hard if he had to have some extra reach to, thrust it in if he needed to.
100%. And look, I actually think that he could be up there in like leading goal scorers if a few things have gone his way this season, because he has had so many opportunities. Like it's a bit Torres-esque in his first season at Chelsea.
Spot on.
But I've really got high hopes for him just to continue this run of form.
I think he'll be that classic second season signing where they just kind of, they take a look, you expect them to fire, they don't. And then you kind of forget about them a bit out of nowhere. They just come out of the blocks from season 2. They're like, I'm fucking ready now.
But that's like the thing
Let's
is,
do it.
they've clearly like him on the wing.
Yeah.
On the left wing, he's causing a lot of problems like on the side. And they're really like the formation they're doing now seems to really, with the wing backs, seems to exploit I guess an opening for him on the left side.
Exactly.
And he's now getting in behind, is getting fouled more. He's getting potential penalties and things like that, which again, for me, one of the reasons I picked up Jorginho was because I was seeing Werner getting in the box more and actually kind of getting pushed around. I was like, it's only a matter of time before he gets, a penalty against him.
100%.
Jorginho is going to take that. So
I love that about him. I love a player that is just like, I'm just going to run at you. Even though it might not look as the most obvious option, I just love that about a player. There's nothing worse than them kind of like, oh no. It's like, mate, you've got some quick feet. Let's go. Let's do it. Let's have it. And he's hungry. I like that.
And it's not just him. We got Pulisic that will come off the bench for him lately. We've got Hudson-Odoi on the other side, and even Mason Mount is making those runs. So pens for Chelsea could skyrocket for this latter half of the season.
Yeah, definitely. And look, I think Chelsea are looking much better. I feel like we're looking more attacking game on game. So
yeah, better attacking, more fluid, but then we got to take it back to the defense as well. Because our defense, I was worried when Thiago Silva got injured if we were going to be as rock solid.
So bad, yeah.
But Christensen has found a new leaf.
But tell you what, when he first subbed on, they did say that he gets caught on the ball too much, and there has been some very sweaty moments where he's been chased down, and I'm literally just like, the prophecy is true, and it was. But he's much better in the second game. That was the first game he came on after, but it was good.
Yeah. Well, hopefully Thiago Silva's back because he's in my team. I'm hoping he'll come back soon.
I don't know where he's at, but
it seems like he's back. According to the website, back in a week or two.
I think his leg fell off.
So hopefully.
Oh, the website like OFPL?
Yeah, the OFPL
Okay,
website.
good. I only want to get our news from
You
there.
don't want to get on the non-official. You don't know what the fuck you're going to see there.
All about the Guardian.
But just very quickly, I know we've kind of smashed Chelsea for a bit, but or we smashed all the points. That's what I mean. Not smash them in terms of they're doing
I'm just smashing this Kurtosh over here.
Yeah, you are smashing it, mate. And this martini is going down so good.
Oh, we got Hito's drunk voice coming out. I love it.
It's good. I just want to quickly ask you guys about Pulisic.
Yeah.
He doesn't seem to be in favour.
No.
He's not producing it.
No.
What have you got to say to our boys out there listening that might still be holding?
Pulisic owners?
Yeah.
I'm still holding.
Yeah, you've got him. I noticed that. And it's a hard one. I think if you've got room to keep him on your bench, just do it. Or you can play him every week, expecting him to probably just come off as a sub if he doesn't play, or if he does start or get some minutes, he might actually get an assist or whatnot. But personally, I'd be probably just benching him because my midfielders are just so stacked. I wouldn't want to leave, someone like, Son or Hudson-Odoi on the bench.
Yeah.
Rashford, De Bruyne. That's what I'm dealing with. So it's hard for my team, but other teams might.
I think that's a good point too, because as long as it's not also restricting you from picking up someone in form. If he's like your fifth swing player and everyone else is non-droppable, that puts you in. I would be tempted to drop because I'd rather have someone playing and potentially jump on a hot streak like a Gundogan that you've had.
It depends.
Than hold to someone who's not playing.
But it depends on the league you're in, because right now I've still got him. There's no one else to pick up. There's no other midfielders that I can really see. I've made a couple of changes to my midfield, but I just have this feeling that Pulisic will eventually come into play and he'll be one of those players that'll he'll kick off quickly. So I don't know.
Well, he did come alive at the end of last season in a big way. I remember because I just picked him up because after, blah, blah, blah. But look, Pulisic, I'd probably,
Depends on your mids. I think that's the big takeaway there.
Yeah.
Depends on if you got room to drop. If he's restricting you from jumping on people, because I would be considering that personally. I like to have a swing as my fifth mid.
You are a swinger.
Yeah.
Let's swing to the next game.
Keys are in the bowl.
Oh, I like that.
Keys are in the bowl. Let's swing. Let's jump over. So we got interesting. Normally we'd say no to this fixture and just fucking fly through it. But Burnley West Brom, boys.
Things have changed.
They've changed. Burnley this week, they won 3-0 against Palace. Absolutely spanked them.
Yeah.
And then, as we didn't predict, unfortunately, Burnley drew 1-1 with Fulham. but still goals again from a team we don't normally expect. And then West Brom getting a cheeky little point out of Man U.
Yeah.
So let's jump into Burnley first, boys. They smashed Palace. Walk us through some points.
Well, look, I mean, Rodriguez for me is, and we spoke about this before the pod, he's looking very good.
He does.
He's
Big
looking.
old J-Rod.
He is getting in some good places, and that was the thing. So when I was watching the highlights, it just felt like he was a part of every play, play. And I'm just thinking, as for fantasy points, you know, it's an assist or goal, it looks like for him. So it's worth having him in your team.
And we know how limited forward options are as well, starting forwards that have a threat. But what about that pass for that goal?
Yeah, it was
That was
just
lovely.
It was like vintage, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think that was in his in the second game. Sorry, I'm jumping straight ahead, but that's just where my mind goes to because
No, that's okay.
he drew in the Fulham defender, turned him, and just put a beautiful ball across.
It was pretty KDB-esque, wasn't it?
That was lovely. I really liked it. But I feel a bit sorry because we hyped up Vidra the other week.
We did.
Because he killed it in that game he came on for. And we jumped on it. I think Whitey even picked him up. Or did you pick him up?
No, Whitey picked him up.
Picked him up, which I think was a good shout because he looked hot.
Yeah.
And out of nowhere, J-Rod's coming in. But J-Rod looks good too. So
Maybe Big Sean has been listening to the podcast and he listened to the old episodes of me shouting out J-Rod for all those times.
I know, maybe he was. He finally got through to him.
Yep.
About time.
He finally learned to listen.
Because he's playing very, very well. He's got something to prove, I think. That's the big thing. And maybe that's because Vidra's there now. He just wants that spot so bad.
Maybe he's like, fuck. Vidra looks good too.
I think J-Rod will probably be at the top of most draft leagues waiver wise this week before game week 25.
I think that's a good shout.
And I reckon that someone in this room is probably going to go for him.
Hello, that's me. That's Tim, by the way. I will be taking him very quickly.
Mate, you're not on the bottom anymore. You can't throw out your pickups that easily.
Don't worry. I don't think Bobby listens to the podcast. And
how fucking rude. Let's get him on the line right now.
What a dog.
What are you doing? We need those listens.
Maybe that's why he's in last.
Maybe. That's probably it.
Yeah,
I think so.
I pulled it back so much.
And that's a lesson. That is a true lesson. I like that. That's that case study we've got there. Someone who does listen, climbing up the table. Someone who doesn't, dropping.
Big time.
Done.
Big time. $150 deficit. Point deficit.
We don't need any more data.
Yeah.
Speaking of dollars, very quickly, I want to give a shout out because it makes me think of our prize money. How when we play fantasy, we have a cheeky little prize money pool at the end. You get a nice couple of $100.
Cheeky.
You lose.
It's pretty big these days.
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
If you lose on our league, you get a little toilet seat. It's got a crappy old decrepit fake poo on it. You get your name imprinted on it. Tim, you've had it in your house for many years now.
My name's on it 3 times.
I'm surprised it's not installed on your actual toilet, but I want to give a shout out to one of our listeners. Reached out this week, giving us some info of how they like to play. And when they lose, they go real harsh.
Yeah.
So last year, they had to get a nipple piercing if they lost
What?
the league.
Can we please do that to Bobby?
Yeah, the year you're losing, not losing.
Yeah.
But that's pretty intense. And then they've even upped it this year. So shout out to Maxwell. He's the one who reached out. And then this year, it's an arse tat if you lose.
A tat.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Because a piercing you could just get and then you leave it in for the weekend. You just take it out.
Arse tat is hardcore. And I hope the winner gets to choose
What it says.
Yeah, because I don't know what the winner's prizes are.
That
Maxwell,
could be
let us know,
brutal.
mate. I hope they get to choose.
Can we choose?
I'm thinking,
Oh, that'd be cool.
Can we please choose the tat?
Draft
He's
Boys
got to
for
get
life.
Draft Boys on his ass. I love that, Max.
Free advertising.
Max will shout you out every week for the rest of our career if you get that on your
For
ass.
sure.
Fart boys.
Draft Boys.
If it's gonna be on the cheek, it's gotta reference the location.
I love that, but
That's
that is
actually
so
pretty
good.
good.
That is so good. Well, guys, if you're listening and you find us on Twitter, let us know how you guys score your winnings. Who gets what money? What are your prizes? We get some inspiration from the TV show The League. We've done that in the past where there's a lot of punishments there. So let us
That's
know.
where the Sacco came from.
The Sacco came from for us.
That's it.
Love it. Well, boys, one more shout out before we move off Burnley.
Yeah.
Fucking suggestion for goal of the season here.
Oh, Lowton.
What's his first name? Is it Matty? I don't know.
Matty Lowton.
I wanted to say Matty Lowton, but I didn't want to get it wrong. Matty Lowton. What a fucking goal.
That was...
I think he broke the
Jesus
stitches
Christ.
on the ball. That was insane.
I think he also completely knocked out PVA.
Really?
Did you see him? It was like a shoulder charge.
It was actually, yeah.
It was absolutely decked him, but picking the ball up inside his own half, driving forward, giving off a 1-2, decking good old Patrick Van Aanholt, throws himself into a box. Ball comes looping back to him, volleys it straight into the goal.
Such a clean volley. It was so nice.
From a right back.
It reminded me of
insane.
that Townsend goal from last season or the season before.
Oh, his volley.
volley.
Fuck.
That was big.
But I think just the whole build up and
Yeah.
the finish deserve a huge shout out. That's like very high on my list, boys.
Yeah, actually, we've got to start writing this list down.
I know. I'm going to have to go back to the
You
pods.
haven't been writing the list down. What the fuck?
It's loose, mate.
I thought this whole time you guys were actually making a list, and there is no list.
Mate, we're loose. We're as loose as we are when we drink a few cocktails. So, all right, let's
the
chat
points
about
are on a napkin over there. So.
exactly. Let's chat about West Brom quickly, boys.
Yeah.
Stealing a point from Man U.
Pretty massive.
That's
New
so
guy,
good.
new boy getting a goal. Diagne, if that's how you say it. I don't know.
Diagne.
I've thrown it out there.
Diagne.
Bit of a foul on Maguire.
Maybe, but fuck Maguire.
Fuck Maguire.
Yeah, fuck Maguire.
Fuck. What's Slabhead? Is that what they call him? Slabhead Maguire.
Was it Maguire that was fouled? Because it was he put his hand on his face or
Yeah,
something.
he was like all over him.
yeah.
All over him like two kids.
But
at
you
a
know
fucking
what?
school dance.
That's how I feel that headers have to be won, and that's I think the league has kind of become a little bit soft. But like I feel like when you grow up playing as kids, you don't mind taking those hits. But then like the EPL,
Oh, yeah.
it's like literally someone to graze you, like the Suchek red card.
Oh, God,
it was
yeah.
literally like,
Let me wipe the
down.
sweat off your forehead. for you,
yeah,
mate.
exactly.
Sorry.
So it's just very soft. But
It is a bit.
well one header.
Oh, and mate, West Brom needed a striker. So that's interesting to see what happens there for West Brom moving forward.
Yeah, definitely.
But yeah, a couple of other points as well for that game. We've got Snodgrass forcing a nice tip over with a header. They look really threatening.
They look much better.
He looked quite good. He was quite lively. I don't know how they kind of didn't score that chance. There's like a 1v1, I think, near the end. But yeah, huge save at the death for from what's his name? Johnson. Is it Johnson?
Johnson.
Huge save at the death.
John
from him.
Stone.
John Stone. Good
Yeah.
old John Stone.
John Stone.
John Stones? Wrong team? I don't know.
And I just wanted to give a quick shout out. If West Brom start keeping some clean sheets, I think Maitland-Niles could be an option. So he's moved there from Arsenal, the team that, some people like, not in this room.
I'm saving it.
Well, no,
I'm saving
don't
it.
use it yet.
Don't use it yet.
But I'm just thinking, he's got a bit of threat up front, and if West Brom get their shit together and keeping cleanies, he could be an option for the draft format.
Okay. I like that.
Definitely.
I like that. Awesome, boys. Before we move on, any quick shout outs on top of the ones we've already had for ones to watch for this fixture?
No, but we haven't been doing score predictions, without our host here. We've just
we
forgotten.
haven't.
Oh,
Fuck, we're just loose, boys. We're loving the cocktails too much.
Yeah.
We're flying through it.
I'll just start with one.
Just do it, mate.
I'm just going to say
Jump in.
3-2 to Burnley.
Oh, I
Goals.
like that.
Really?
I like that.
Yeah.
I like
Actually,
that.
that's very good. Goals
you.
galore.
I like that a lot.
Are we going to do the previous ones as well? Just quickly double back or just forget
No.
it?
Nah,
we're
they're
just-
dead
we're
to
rolling.
us.
They're dead.
We're
Dead.
rolling.
All right,
to
keep
us.
rolling forward.
I can't
yeah.
scroll up on my computer. It's too hard.
What's the next game, Heato?
Boys, I'm looking forward to this game. I'm feeling a lot better after Champions League this week, but Liverpool versus Everton, the Merseyside derby.
It's
So I don't
always
wa-
spice.
It is always spice, and a few interesting results for both teams this week. Liverpool completely capitulating against Leicester, losing 3-1, and then Everton losing 2-0 to Fulham. Let me sink that in. 2-0 to Fulham.
Oh,
Pull it there.
Horrible.
pin drops in here.
And then then they lost 3-1 to Everton, which I think, Mylo, you predicted correctly last week.
Thank you.
Shout out.
Thank you.
That was
Shout
a good
out.
predict.
So two teams who've just come off back-to-back losses. Liverpool, thankfully, have just won in the Champions League between this game and now.
Who are they playing again?
Red
In
Bull.
Red Bull, Leipzig. So they
So
kind of...
Heto's getting excited about
Yeah.
beating.
Mate, I feel like I've had a couple of Red Bulls when I think about that game. So
No, they're
let's,
espresso martinis, man.
yeah, it's just as good. Actual caffeine.
Plug.
So let's chat about Liverpool here, boys. What do you think as outsiders watching this game?
Man, I thought that they should have got pumped like 8-1.
Yeah, it was bad.
But that's probably about from the 70th minute onward, though. Hey,
Oh, Vardy had a few early ones
Yeah.
as well. I honestly think Vardy could have had 4 clear-cut goals.
He did hit the post a couple of times, didn't he?
Yeah, you did it twice, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. He should be doing better, though.
Yeah,
And
You'd
he
think so.
rocketed one over the bar as well.
But it was quite cagey from my point of view, to be honest. Like it was quite even. It wasn't necessarily full dominance from Leicester there. Liverpool were very in it.
They were. So yeah, obviously Leicester scored their second goal, I think, in the 76th minute or something.
Yeah.
And then obviously when Liverpool are trying to press, they've scored another one on the counter.
Yeah.
But
Well, before we go downhill, let's go uphill.
yeah.
That Firmino assist.
Okay. I actually don't even think we need a list because nothing's going to beat that. I'm calling it right now. Assist of the season.
Yeah.
We got
I'd back
Marlo's
that.
own list now. So
Yeah.
we got my goal of the season. We got Marlo's assist of the season.
Yeah, I have to agree. That's got to be one of the biggest assists of the season. That was
And
That was sex.
Unlike what you think about Jesus' assist, it was definitely intentional.
Oh, it was. Jesus doesn't know what he's doing, mate. Did you watch City this week?
I did.
But yeah, that was juicy. He just knows where Salah is. Salah just is almost surprised that it's come to him and just like sticks a foot at it and perfectly curls it in. It's lovely.
it was so nice.
I won't be surprised if that actually gets goal of the season because of the
The
build-up.
assist.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they don't always just factor in the one shot. Sometimes it's the lead-up play as well.
But it was a nice finish from a standstill start from Salah. He wasn't even running onto it. So that was lovely. But then we completely shot ourselves in the foot.
Yeah.
Allison, I don't know what the fuck he was doing coming out of goal there.
What's been happening with him lately?
I don't know, man. I think it's really sums us up at the moment, like a mental strength.
Do you think
It's
that
really
he
lacking.
was like actually not as good as he is and Van Dijk just kind of made him so much better?
No, I think maybe part of the not having a consistent defense in front of him has
Yeah.
made him a bit more pressure of like, it's all on me now.
Yeah. Okay.
It's so
and he's
clear.
still had amazing saves and he's still been very good with his feet at times, but he does have that in his game where I think just the factor of lots of losses now, it's shaken the team a bit and I think it's just affecting him. So
It looks like it's indecision, which is getting him every time. He just doesn't know where to go. He's kind of like going to it, going away, and he's like, he's getting caught in between no man's land. So
agree with that. Agree. But yeah, I think the team's looking okay. Got some goals midweek with Salah and Mane in the Champions League. So yeah, interesting side from them moving forward. But what about Everton boys?
Yeah, I actually expected a bit more from Everton this game week,
Me too.
especially with playing Fulham. And then I thought that Carlo, when he has been playing the big games, he has set up a little bit more defensively, which, to be fair, he did. But he is playing City, and they're going to find a way. We'll talk about the Fulham game first. I didn't really see that much of them besides from Josh King's offside goal towards the end.
No.
Yeah, they were very quiet.
It was. I watched the highlights and like I was actually watching Fulham the whole time, going, "Wow, Fulham are amazing! Fulham are amazing!" And then I was like, "Wait, Everton are playing this game too." I was like, "I'm not just watching Fulham highlights here. I'm
Who's
actually
the other
watching."
team again? I think it was the 33rd minute before Coleman had that shot off the post where I was like, oh yeah.
Yeah, we ran the whole
I
pitch.
should do some notes on Everton. But yeah, pretty quiet from them. Bit disappointing if you'd stacked with them this week for this fixture. But then they lost to City. Boys, I watched the second half live this morning.
Yeah.
City just ran all over them.
They did. The only thing that I can really get from Everton's performance is, I want to say Ding. I want to say Digne.
Yeah.
Because even though he did have a few shocking moments, it seems like he's the only one that's really putting it in.
Yeah, I agree.
And he's been very consistent as their like provider and main man for creativity.
Yeah.
When they've liked it in the middle of the field. So, and I think they missed definitely DCL.
Big time.
Yeah,
They're
definitely.
missing him. It was nice. Richarlison got on the points again, even though it was the weirdest goal I've ever seen, I think.
Yeah.
I don't know. It was kind of nice.
I thought he handballed it when it went in. But
Really?
yeah.
It was weird, but I mean, right place, right time.
Exactly. But they've definitely missed some goals and points from him this season. But
Yeah.
I think they'll just dominate that game. So it'll be interesting to see how they recover after that. Two teams who are not in great form.
Yeah. So with DCL being out, what are you guys thinking about Josh King as a pickup?
I think it's interesting for sure.
Well, let's be honest, it's kind of an out of form Everton. So just because a good player's out doesn't necessarily mean that the replacement player is going to get points. So it's a hard one because, it all just depends really.
I think it just adds more threat up front for them instead of just relying on Richarlison. I think him off the left is better.
Yeah.
And F King is a pretty proven Premier League striker. So personally, I'd prefer him up front. And obviously, you never know if you've got room in your team.
Yeah.
If you take a punt,
Yeah.
Definitely.
with DCL.
I think, obviously he didn't get on the score sheet, but I think should be something that you guys should be monitoring, especially if you've got that third striker as the swing player. Could be an option. Jump on it.
Yeah. It depends on the league you're in, I guess. Because right now for us in our league, there's no strikers.
No.
There's no one. So that could be a decent pickup if there's an injury or something like that. So
Yeah, agree with that for sure. Definitely, boys. All right, well, that's going to be interesting. So, Timmy, do you want to predict this one, mate? I know you've just stuffed your face with some...
just had some Kurtosh. But
Kurtosh.
you know what? Flat out, I think this is going to be nil or draw.
Look, it does happen. They get hyped up, the big fixtures, the derbies, and
The last couple
flat.
of derbies I've watched have been like either like 1-1 or 0-0.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
They
think
just
that's...
haven't been as big as they are hyped up for. And both teams are not, in the best form ever.
They're usually cagey affairs, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a good shout. All right, boys, let's move on. So we just spoke about a little bit, Fulham. They're versing Sheffield this week.
Yeah. And, still obviously not much to talk about Sheffield. So, yeah,
we can pass over there.
we'll be quick on them. But Fulham, so they had a double game week and they, as mentioned, they beat Everton 2-0 and then drew 1-1 to Burnley.
4 points. I take that as Fulham
For
out
sure.
of those games.
Yeah, that's
4
good.
points on the table.
I got to say, this Marja kid, I was so impressed with him.
Yeah, he's good.
What did you guys make of him?
Well, I've actually been kind of, a lot of people out there I'm sure have maybe, I guess, seen Sunderland Till I Die, but he was on there and he looked like a great player when he joined them. And I just remember thinking, why the fuck would you go to Sunderland in the championship one? Like, I just don't get it. But he's made his way now into the Premier League and scores 2 goals straight away.
Yeah.
And in the second game as well, he looked very good. He didn't get on the score sheet, but he's one of those players that's in the right place at the right time because he's quick. He seems to read the play and he gets right in the box. So I would be picking him up because it looks like Mitrovic is maybe sitting on the bench now and they're going with the youngster.
And Fulham. So you talk about, maybe Josh King as not being an option because it's an Everton not in form.
Yeah.
I think Fulham are putting together a bit of form.
Yeah, they definitely are.
So I definitely think this is an option as well.
Yeah, I agree with that, lads. I think that's a good point, especially when it's like a player who's been starting. Whereas Josh King, we're not sure what's going to happen yet.
Yeah, but it's also about, we always talk about picking the form with players, looking for players in form, but it's also about teams in form because it's not one person unless it's Crystal Palace. It's the whole team gets in form and that's what you need to get around. So someone like, Marja, for example, he's got, what's his name? Lookman. He's looking very good. And there was the other...
And Dakova Reed.
Dakova Reed, yeah. They're just the assist from Dakova Reed. He's like doing little back heels and stuff.
Yeah.
It's looking like a creative Fulham, which is weird.
I know. And I think this is a really good time to jump on it because you got Sheffield this week and then Palace the week after.
Good fixtures.
So then it gets a bit hard with Liverpool City. But just for a short term...
Yeah, a couple of games and then maybe leave them on your bench for those 2 games.
Maybe
and then,
play them against Liverpool, but potentially.
I'm glad you said it.
Yeah, I had to, mate. I've got to do it before you guys can. But yeah, anyone else in those in Fulham before we move on to quickly rinse Sheffield?
No, just those 3 players. So when one player starts scoring, other players around him are going to be scoring. So we're calling out Marja, Dakova Reed, and Lookman. I think that trio could be very dynamic for fantasy for the next couple of games.
Well, who's this Aino guy as well? Because he's got an assist and a goal.
Yeah, one of the defenders. He's had a couple of goals.
It was a header goal, wasn't it?
It was. It was a bit.
Oh, it was a good header.
But then Burnley, Brady on the line kicked it into his own goal.
Yeah.
So it's on target, but probably should have been stopped.
Yeah.
That's true.
But yeah, I'd be just scared of them because I think
if he's a defender, then yeah.
they're probably going to concede, even though they didn't against Everton. But yeah, so that'd be interesting. So Sheffield boys, very quickly, I don't know what was happening with some of their play this game against West Ham. They lost 3-0. What do you guys think?
I just think that I just want to say to our listeners, stay away from Sheffield players. You don't need to pick them up.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate because last year they impressed us so much defensively and they were pretty much in a lot of winning teams.
Yeah.
But yeah, just stay away from Sheffield.
Well, to be fair, I guess one player to maybe look at is your boy Goldie, because watching the highlights, the only highlights from Sheffield were Goldie slightly missing the goal every time.
Yeah.
But he still is looking threatening. But the thing is, it's against a very informed West Ham. So
you don't.
maybe if he's playing a lesser team, then he might be starting to get into goals, but he just can't finish,
Or
can he?
maybe even Liverpool, because he did score 2 against them earlier in the season. My boy Goldie.
On
Never
your
know.
Goldie.
Hopefully we don't verse him soon. I don't want to see this form.
If I ever get a goldfish, I'm calling him Goldie.
McGoldrick.
Goldie.
Love it, lads. All right, let's move on then. I guess I can predict this one.
Yeah.
I think we're going to see Fulham win 2-0 in this fixture.
Wow.
I just don't see Sheffield pulling through.
Yeah.
I think Maja will come through.
Yeah. I'm hoping to get him, but we'll see.
Well, let's see what happens. All right, boys, let's move on. So we just spoke about Sheffield. The other side of their fixture last week was West Ham. This week, West Ham are versing Tottenham. Yeah. So Tottenham lost 3-0 to City. West Ham won 3-0. What's going to happen again? We got threes in the future again.
3-3?
3-3? Maybe. -3 to one team. I don't know. Is that possible?
I would love to see West Ham take this one.
Yeah,
I really would, because I think Tottenham, they're good because they should be good. That's not really right, but I feel like because they're one of the big teams, everyone thinks, oh no, you can't beat them. But it's literally just Kane and Son. I know they've got a good team behind them, but West Ham just seem to have, if you look at the West Ham team, everyone is in such good form right now. They've actually got players on the bench who are in good form. So it's like, there's no reason why West Ham can't easily take down Tottenham. So
that was without Antonio as well.
Yeah.
100%
this week. So interesting. And what about Jay Lings? I don't think we've spoken about him.
Yeah,
since
I
he's
think
joined.
we missed the podcast. We had an off week when he had that brace. But
lively.
Really lively. And man, did he want to take that pen.
Oh, they had a little tiff, didn't they?
Yeah. Did you see the social media afterwards?
It was so good.
When Jay's in the spa.
Yeah.
And Ricey comes over and he's like, oh, he really wanted me to take that pen.
Yeah, he's like, nah, man. Yeah, that was good. A good bants from those two. But
for sure.
I know. I always thought Jay Lings was a absolutely trash of a footballer, but he's proven me wrong. He's got off to a good flying start. Maybe he just needed to be not in red anymore.
100%. Look, I actually disagree. I've had him in my team previously when he was playing in a United team regularly. I think it was under Mourinho, and he was going okay for me. Like I didn't drop him straight away.
It was hard to predict, though. He was always off and on, and I mean, if you actually watched the game, he was still making some stupid mistakes. Like he just gets caught on the ball a lot. Yeah. But when he's good, he's good. Like it's
Well, he won the pen really nicely. Like I don't know what the fuck Sheffield were doing, but he's in there and he's putting pressure on. And I think the only people that might be a little bit more sour about him doing well now is the guy who bet on him to not score last season.
That was a crazy bet. I could not believe that happened.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
So some guy bet that Lingard would not score the entire of like the 19-20 season.
Did he?
And on the last game week, he scored.
He came off the bench
and scored
in the 80-something minute.
And the guy, I think he also had a multi. Was it a multi bet or was it just that single bet?
I think it was a single, man.
But it was a lot of money.
I would have loved if Lingard knew about that bet. It was like, Coach, put me on. Yeah, put me on. I've got to fuck this guy's year.
Yeah. It was so he lost so much.
Lingard's making like 40K a week or 50K a week.
Yeah.
Probably more.
Yeah. And want to deny.
And this guy's just put on his life savings on this bet.
Oh, man, brutal.
The only other player I want to call out is Cresswell. I think Cresswell is kind of, an unsung...
Going under the radar.
Yeah, for sure.
Not on my radar.
He's on
I've
your
had
team.
In my team for a long time.
He's getting some serious bonus. And I think we've seen that. We've called out a few other names from West Ham defense. But their team is looking really strong at the back. Like you got Sufal, you got Dawson, you got Diop who scored this week, Cresswell.
Unfortunately, they're now missing Ogbonna, who's now out with a knee injury, unknown return date. So, but the thing is, they've got players to fill.
Yeah,
so
they're flying without him. So they're doing really well. So, let's jump on to Tottenham, boys. Again, City just running rampage.
What do you think of Tottenham?
Look, I don't hate Tottenham as much as you guys, but it's City. I think this is going to happen. You can't just defend and just set up for a draw against them because they're going to find a way.
I think Mourinho's tactics will work against not as strong teams.
Yeah.
City's going to break anyone down. So early on, I think Kane had a nice free kick off the corner of the bar. That was pretty spicy. I don't know what the hell Højbjerg was doing on that challenge to Gundogan.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Won the pen, but yeah. What do you guys think of Lloris this game, guys?
Loris.
I think he was pretty good.
You thought he was good?
Like, I think there could have been a lot more.
Yeah.
I thought I thought some of his saves were a bit poor.
You reckon?
He
Yeah.
wasn't getting them out of the danger. He was, I don't know. He was a bit off and on, but
Yeah.
it wasn't horrible. He's up against Man City.
I know. For me, it was just the two saves for two of their goals. So the pen, he got really down for it well, got a solid hand for a ball that wasn't in the corner.
Yeah.
I think he'd be disappointed that he didn't save that.
But it's a pen.
But it's for such a juicy hand on it. It's not like he got his fingertips. You're getting all the way down. And then I think he was a little bit poor against for the next Gundogan.
Yeah.
Oh,
kind
yeah,
of
he
like
was
went
a bit
through
poor
his-
there. Yeah.
Went through his body, but
But he did kind of make some other pretty clinical
He
saves.
did too,
Yeah.
but unfortunately, I think it's the ones
It's
that
the ones that
seemed
count.
not as, clear cut. Like, oh, that was a worldie.
True.
He probably could have done a bit better. But I think the biggest laughing stock of this game, though, was good old David Sanchez.
Yeah.
He
Poor
got sat down.
Yeah.
Wanted to taste see what the grass tasted like.
Yeah.
I missed that.
So the
He
through
ate it.
ball from Edison that set Gundogan.
Oh,
Through.
yes. Okay. No,
Yeah.
I did see that. I was
Sanchez.
so being a Gundogan owner, I was looking at was Gundogan
Yeah, you didn't
and
see
just jacking off.
Yeah, yeah, you-
I'm like Edison to Gundogan. I have both players right now, so I'm just like,
Oh, you
it
finished.
it was the quickest climax ever.
Yeah.
But I didn't even see the.
Yeah, you were like, how is Gundogan so open? There's no one marking him. I can't see anyone. But yeah, he fell straight on his face. Pretty embarrassing, but
Yeah.
not much besides that from Tottenham this game. So I think
No.
it'll be interesting. Mylo, what do you reckon for prediction?
Look, I actually think that this game is going to be a lot more lively than that game.
I hope so.
Because, I think Jose will set up this game to be a bit more attacking and use the likes of Son and Kane a little bit more than he did. So I'm actually going to call a draw in this.
Okay.
Just 2-2.
Okay. I'd like that.
I was actually going to say the exact same thing. I reckon 2 goals from both sides is
I'd take that. I think that would be a good game.
It'd be interesting though because I actually rate West Ham's defense over Tottenham's right now. So maybe it could be like a 2-1 situation because they
Maybe.
can hold them out a little bit better. But who knows?
I think that's a good shout too. I'd still be playing my West Ham defenders just because they're strong on set pieces and the like. So
Well, Cresswell. The good thing about Cresswell is he gets assists. So
Yeah.
even if he doesn't get a clean sheet, there's a chance for an assist there. So
definitely. All right, boys, let's move on to a team who maybe didn't impress this much attacking wise, Aston Villa. They're versing Leicester.
Yeah.
So Villa drew 0-0. I was about to say 0-0. That's a weird one. I was going to say 0-0 against Brighton. They were pretty quiet that game. And then we're going to talk about Leicester as well, who won 3-1 against Liverpool.
Yeah.
So let's start on Villa first, boys.
Well, I think the thing that we've got to take from the Villa performance is the clean sheet again.
Yeah.
Like defensively, they are just not letting in goals at the moment.
No, they are insane. And actually, for both those teams, Brighton have been a surprise defense lately, as much as Villa as well. So
True. Brighton, obviously we've spoken about them when they had their run of 5 wins in a row, which is huge for them.
yeah, massive.
Ladder
So-
climbers.
And I think they dominated Villa this game. I didn't see much from Villa attacking wise. It was all just Martinez basically in goal.
Yeah.
Oh my God, he is just like there was the final highlights I saw before I came here, and it's just the saves were ridiculous. It wasn't just your regular saves. He was just everything was just fingertips. I couldn't believe it.
9 saves.
Yeah.
That's got to be a record. I don't know.
That was insane. And I think, he's pulling in some serious point hauls at the moment. And he looks like a man just, new lease of life. Now he's not stuck under the hood of Arsenal.
Yeah. But I mean, Brighton, if you think about it, if he wasn't in goal, Brighton would have obliterated Aston Villa.
Oh,
It would have been like a Leeds kind of, big win sort of thing. It's just
100%.
I was just like, Aston Villa are so lucky to not be down by like 4 goals. Like,
Yeah.
it was
the
ridiculous.
1 week where we're not praising the likes of Grealish and Watkins and
I didn't see a highlight for
no,
Grealish.
they were very, very
Or
quiet
Watkins.
this week. But yeah, so boys, let's move on to a team who did score some goals. Leicester.
Yeah, they did score some goals. We've already mentioned a few, but yeah, I've got to say again, Vardy, since he's first came back from his surgery,
Yeah,
he looks so good.
he does.
He could have scored 4 or 5 maybe.
Yeah.
And I'm just calling it right now. If you guys don't have him, I'd be trying to trade for him.
Yeah.
Because I think he finishes so strong. He starts strong, but he finishes even stronger every single year. And I just think that, even against a team against Liverpool,
Yeah.
he's up for it
It's
every
because
week.
he gets the delivery of Red Bulls, the mid-season delivery, and he just
Restocked.
it's his fridges are all stocked.
So he
He's ready to
starts
go.
and he's got the full fridge, so he's flying.
Yeah.
But then he's like, fuck, I'm running out of Red Bulls. I better
Goes
just
too
chill
hard.
out.
Yeah.
He's like cracking
Calls up the
3 a
CEO.
game. Yeah,
It's the restock.
and they're
Yeah.
like, mate, it's fucking COVID. We can't get them to you. We can't ship them. quick
Imagine
enough.
that. He had the biggest crash of all time.
Oh my god. Maybe that's why I needed hernia surgery. Maybe there's something else going on. But yeah,
Getting back to Leicester, the dynamic trio,
Yeah.
Barnes, Maddison, and Vardy.
Yeah.
They are like on fire this season.
yeah, huge. I think
Yeah.
it's 12 goals from Barnes now.
Yeah.
What about Madison?
Madison on fire
I think
too.
he's got 8 so far.
Yeah, but he gets a lot of assists. That's kind of
Yeah.
where he's getting a lot of his points.
Yeah.
He's been doing really well. I think he got a little bit lucky with his goal.
He did.
Personally, I thought it was a little bit sketchy, the VAR
Yeah.
offside line drawing there.
The
And the
lasers.
involvement of I know it's one of those ones you're like, I don't really see that, but I don't know. Got awarded, so I'll take the 8 points.
To be honest, mate, I don't think anyone in the football world saw what they saw.
What the
That VAR
yeah.
decision was
Yeah.
ridiculous.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know how they do that. They think they're drawing a line from like the heel of someone to their like a body that's leaning away in their arm, and I don't know what the fuck's going on there. I think
It's
they're
got
just,
too much. It's got ridiculous.
maybe they're just like bringing kids to work day and they've just got kids drawing lines on the.
maybe.
And I'm surprised it's straight, but
Yeah.
who knows? Then that got them, and then obviously we spoke about Liverpool kind of capitulating there with Alisson fucking up and Vardy
Yeah.
having a clean walk through on goal, which was quite straightforward. But then Barnesy, at the end, finishing nicely as Liverpool are pushing high.
Yeah. Barnes
He is quick.
looks really good.
Yeah, he's
Clinical.
looking
He's
quick.
worked on his finishing.
Yeah.
He's
I love
stepped
that
up.
goal.
He's really stepped up this season. I think that's going to be interesting to see how he goes in draft next year.
Yeah.
I think he's worked his way up the draft list.
For sure.
Yeah.
Why don't you give us a prediction, Timmy?
Look, I'm really hoping for Aston Villa to have a better game. I actually think it will be, and I know this will be controversial.
That's all right. We like it on FPL Draft Boys or OFPL.
I think it'll be OFPL off pool.
Off pool.
I think it's going to be 1-0 to Aston Villa.
Oh, okay.
I have a feeling that they'll keep him out.
Their defense.
Their defense will keep him out.
I think it'll be a good game, though. These are teams who are very lively, but also can be very solid in defense.
Yeah.
I think it'll be a really good contest.
Plausible. Very plausible.
Yeah, nice. All right, boys, let's move on. Arsenal versus City.
Big game.
Normally, Arsenal kind of, they've been a bit low lately this season, but they've stepped up again.
Started to get a bit of form.
Started to get a little bit of form. Arsenal winning 4-2 against Leeds, and then City, as we mentioned before, scoring 6 goals this game week. 3-0 against Tottenham, 3-1 against Everton. Let's jump into Arsenal first, boys.
Yeah, let's.
And a familiar man to someone at this table,
Don't fucking talk to me.
a very familiar player, Aubameyang, back in the goals, 3 goals, hat-trick this week against good old Leeds.
Yeah.
How did that feel, Timmy?
Well, after jacking myself off to Gundogan, it really made my balls retract. But look, I'm very salty about it. Obviously, I used to have Aubameyang in my team. I fucked up, and as you know, warning to anyone out there, it is possible to fuck up the online league and just not confirm your transfers. But I subbed him out for 1 week when his mum was sick, and I thought I had him back in for the transfer, and I didn't, and someone else grabbed him before I could. So easy as that. Like just trying to pick up more
I
points.
like the strategy because you're low on the waiver wire. You know they're locked for that game week, and then you got a very good chance to pick them back up again.
Yeah.
I like the strategy, but unfortunately,
I think it's
Execution was
risky, though.
poor.
it's very risky.
think it's
You've got to
risky.
be on it, and unfortunately, whatever the hell happened, maybe you had a few 2 espresso martinis. I don't know what you were doing, but
Funnily enough, I actually had big night the previous night, but
there you go.
Funnily enough,
Alcohol,
the
kids.
truth comes out.
Alcohol, kids, stay away. Stay away. Or fuck
I
with
was
your team.
fucked. No, but honestly, the person that literally has been so out of this league for us anyway, managed to pick him up. Of course, he was looking at the people.
Still can't
available,
set his team each week. He has probably injured players starting, but he'll still manage to do a transfer.
Three
somehow.
auto subs every week on his team.
But he'll do a transfer. So that's what's happening in our league, boys. But yeah, he looked quite good this game.
Yeah, he looked really good, and I do think that he's going to continue to carry on because he's not going to just end on 80 points for the season, what he's on at the moment.
No.
I think he's going to push forward and really try and see this season out, which has been a kind of a disaster one for him so far. But I do want to give a shout out to Bellerin as well. I think that he had a cracking game. He could have scored another goal as well, and I
love the nutty pass from Ceballos.
It was filthy
through to Bellerin.
Yeah,
very good nutty.
That was lovely.
But I mean, Aubameyang could have had 4. He had that one off the crossbar as well at the very end. It was a nice take, but he just didn't keep it down.
Yeah, could have easily banged in 4 this week, and that's a huge point haul. But I also love the cross from Smith Rowe for his 3rd.
Yeah, Smith Rowe's just really impressed me since he's got in the team.
I couldn't quite tell if he was going for goal just because it was shaping for a curler shot, but I don't know. I'll give it to him.
I think it was intentional assist.
Yeah.
I think
it was pretty spicy. But yeah, what do you guys think about them against City? Are you feeling confident?
No.
Or are you a bit worried for them?
I'm not worried for them because I'm not an Arsenal fan, but I will say they do look better. They might score a goal, but I actually don't see it because I think that in these big games, Pep does set up a little bit more defensively, but he still goes for it because he's obviously got that striking power up front.
Yep.
But yeah, I just predict that City will win 2 or 3-0, to be honest.
That's fair.
Well, it depends because Gundogan is right now 75% chance of playing because he got a groin injury. And a groin injury is obviously in football, I know they put 75% chance, but I've got a feeling he'll be rested again because
I think so.
Fuck him up, so.
Especially with KDB coming off the bench at the end of the game. He's obviously good enough to play, and they probably don't need to risk Gundy.
Imagine both of them at the same time. Holy shit.
It's kind of scary.
Maybe it works because KDB's not in the team.
Possibly.
Maybe he likes he's filling that hole.
Maybe, but maybe now that they see how much of a goal threat he is, assists from, maybe that means that Kevin De Bruyne sits a little bit further back, assisting forward to, Gundogan.
Yeah.
It could mean he pushes up higher, but who loses their spot in that?
That's what I'm really interested about because, obviously Bernardo Silva has kind of impressed as of late, and he's playing for the full 90 minutes for the last 10, 12 game weeks.
Yeah, definitely.
He's getting back to, that time a couple of seasons ago where he had a blinder. So what do you guys think? Do you think he loses a spot now that KDB comes back?
I don't know. I think City is so hard to predict, man. I don't feel confident owning many players. I think normally, historically, the only ones you feel safe with are Sterling and KDB.
Yeah.
Besides that, I don't know what's going on. But now Gundogan's pretty much a guaranteed if he's fit.
There is no way he now subs off. Someone else is losing that spot.
He's got to be in mid. So it'd be KDB, Gundogan, and Rodri probably in the midfield. And then you've got basically Foden, Jesus, Mahrez.
Just get Jesus
and
off.
Bilva fighting for the 2 front 3 spots.
Yeah.
And Aguero now on the bench this week.
Aguero's back. There's options all over the place, isn't there?
There's so many. I'd be scared, but I don't know. You got to kind of hope a team that's at the top of the table, if you just have one of them, even if they're your weaker 4th or 5th mid, I think they're worth holding just because of the rotation and they're so threatening even off the bench.
They are.
Yeah, I'd take them. But yeah, boys, I think that's probably all the City players we want to cover. Obviously, they were amazing. Some lovely goals this week.
What about Mahrez's goal, though?
That was beautiful.
That was so nice. It was just a good play. It was just the pass to him was perfect. He didn't have to take any extra touches. It was just literally a pass, shoot.
Mahrez confuses me, man. I was watching it and I'm thinking, he just looks terrible. He's losing the ball, couldn't get a shot away, and then out of nowhere, spanks a beautiful curler in off the bar.
Vintage Mahrez, mate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It just shows you quality comes through. But yeah, so whose prediction is it? Mine?
I think it can be mine. Oh, no. Oh, yeah, no, because I did the one before. No,
yeah.
Take it, Heato.
Boys.
Talk to me.
I think City are going to go on a rampage again. I can't see them not scoring. So I think I'm going to carry on with the 3-goal tradition. I think it might be 3-1.
3-1?
Yeah.
What, they just let one slide in?
Might potentially. I think just if Alba's filling up for it, he might
Better not
get
be
through.
fucking Alba. Well, I swear to God.
Yeah, potentially will.
I just won't wake up that morning.
Well, hopefully Gundogan's playing.
Yeah,
He will.
unless Gundogan scores all 3 for Mets.
Then you'll wake up. But let's talk about a game that won't really probably wake you up. Is West Brom Man U.
Yeah.
Bit of a sleeper, boys.
Yes.
Do you mean Man U Newcastle?
Well, yeah, I was going straight to their loss, but yes, Man U Newcastle too. That probably won't wake you up either.
Probably not.
So Man U lost. Oh, sorry, not lost. I feel like they lost.
Yeah, that's
say
really
they
a
lost.
loss for them. Yeah.
I'll say they lost. They drew 1-1 with West Brom. They're versing Newcastle this week. Newcastle we probably won't talk about because they were trash.
They were.
But what about Man U?
Yeah, I think that they definitely left 2 points slip there.
Yeah.
They were.
I was thinking it was going to be 6-0, so I was way off the mark. I was loosey-goosey
Was
last
that your
week.
prediction?
It was.
Holy fuck.
I thought they were going to run Rampage because they were so good the week before.
It was John Stone, mate.
Yeah, John Stone. I know, taking a break from City.
Yeah. But yeah, so obviously Fernandez, he's in the goal again, and that was a cracker goal.
Oh, it was weak foot too.
Yeah, weak foot.
Weak
They
foot.
did mention that. Yeah,
He did like it was like a roundhouse kick almost.
It was-
it was good.
but so accurate.
My hammy hurt just watching that.
Oh,
so
I know.
I can't kick that hard.
I actually pulled my hammy just watching
just watching it, limped away from it. But
Yeah.
I think a little shout out to Luke Shaw as well.
Yeah,
He's on a rampage of assists at the moment.
he's killing it.
He is getting a lot of assists. So I picked him up a couple of weeks ago
Yeah, you did.
just to pat myself on the back,
Yeah,
But yeah, I think he's a little bit of a kind of going under the radar a bit too.
yeah, great pickup. He has been killing it lately, and I don't think he'd be available in many leagues. But-
surely not.
Oh, there we
But
go.
he
Let's hold on
could
to that.
That's why we
be-
bring you on. That's why we got him.
for sure, owners and for other people that might want to try and trade. As a short owner, you could maybe throw him in if you're trying to get a big dog.
Yeah, it'd be a good defender to throw in
So
a
say
trade.
if you were going for Fernandez, for example, and then you're trying to trade, I don't know, say if you have, Madison, and you're like, oh, hey, I'll give you Luke Shaw as well. So you got that Man United cover, because when you look at the numbers, he's getting in the numbers. So you got a bit of Fernandez cover there.
I like it. I don't think you'd throw away Fernandez, but I like the idea though.
Just
I know
as an
you-
example,
Yeah,
exactly.
I
Yeah,
like it though as an option because it's a strong defender who's creating goals. He's linking up well with both Fernandez and Cavani, who seem to have nailed on that starting striker spot over Martial.
and just while he's in the assists, maybe try and take advantage of that with trying to work a trade in.
Because if someone's like, "Oh, I'll offer you Shaw," you go, "Okay, let me look at the points."
Yeah.
and you see that train of assists, you're like, "Ooh, hello."
Yeah,
Yeah, it's kind of like Cresswell. It doesn't matter if he doesn't get a clean sheet always because there's a chance for an assist. So it's definitely worthwhile having him.
for sure.
Yeah.
And clean sheets are so hard to predict. If that's all you're getting from a defender, very tricky to call. But I think that's mostly it from Man U this week. I think they'll pick it up again. They probably will against Newcastle, who I've literally got one note for. Good tackle on Tammy.
From Lascelles.
Yeah.
Yeah, great.
What a prick, eh?
Tammy went off injured, unfortunately.
Yeah.
We don't like to see players get injured, but it was a fantastic tackle.
Yeah, but besides from that, I didn't really see anything from Newcastle.
No, I think they're missing Wilson.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
Oh, massively. Yeah.
Firing from Alan Maximum and kind of Fraser and all that.
And
last
Almiron.
season.
Simon.
Yeah, couldn't pull through. So
No.
I think they might struggle again. So
Yeah.
I'd be looking forward to it.
Well, I mean, watching the game, the most frustrated looking person on the pitch has got to be Saint Maximin.
Yeah.
He just looks like he's trying so hard.
Every
but he-
game, yeah.
Yeah, but he just doesn't seem to have an outlet. And I feel like if he was in a team it's just slightly better,
Like Liverpool or something.
Yeah.
All right, I'm doing the Whitey thing. I'm turning off your mic. I don't like that.
No, but honestly, like if you put him in a slightly better team,
If he was in a Southampton or Wolves,
yes, exactly.
I reckon he'd do really well.
Yeah.
He needs to move away from Newcastle, I think, because Andy Carroll's not his outlet.
No,
That's
Oh, poor Andy.
mate, that outlet adapter does not work.
And Dwight Gale, even though I love him because he's just such a beautiful little man, he's just not the guy.
Probably an old man now. I
Yeah,
don't know.
he's just not the guy for the Prem.
No.
He kills the championship, but just not in the Prem.
Yeah, agree. All right, boys, let's get one more prediction in for this one. I think, Mylo, it's your turn.
Yeah, cool. I'm going to predict 4-0.
4-0
Yep.
4-0.
To Newcastle.
to Newcastle.
Just checking. United.
Andy Carroll, 4 goals. All right, boys, let's wrap it up with our last game of the week. Going to be really interesting to talk about. Brighton versus Palace.
Yeah, well, I mean, honestly, from Brighton, the thing that I would be looking at the most is Trossard.
Trossard looks really good.
because
He looks spice.
while obviously, what's his name? Malpe has been kind of out of form. He seems to be stepping up and he's just taking shots from everywhere.
Yeah.
I mean, he didn't score this week, but he had some good shots. Like he was all over them. So
Yeah, on target, looked really lively. I also liked Veltman.
Veltman looked good.
Veltman looked really strong.
Yeah.
Few chances, few
Like
passes,
Martinez,
crosses.
like
He
just kept them out.
yeah, I know, it was insane.
Without him, I think I would be very favourable, looking at kind of Brighton players against Palace.
But tell you what, because also Welbeck is now back in and he subbed on and he almost scored, but again, Martinez kept him out.
Yeah.
And that was ridiculous because that was a close range tap in at the near post and Martinez
Yeah.
still got there. But I think there's a good chance that Malpe, out of form, is going to find himself on the bench and it could be Welbeck and Trossard.
I think so too.
It could be.
Yeah, so it could be good to get on. That's another one. If you're struggling for strikers, Welbeck is now back, and he did initially come into the team, and straight away Malpe got benched. So
Came in good as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. He had a bit of form before. What was it, an injury or what happened
yeah,
there?
he got an injury. He was out. I think-
Malpe?
No, Welbeck.
Oh, Welbeck, yeah.
He got an
injury.
ankle injury or something like
Ah,
that.
yeah,
And now he's back because I had him in my team and he was
Yeah.
great. He got me like 3 goals for I think the time I had him, and then he got the injury. So he's a very injury prone player though, Welbeck.
He is a bit made of glass.
Yeah.
Talking about who's someone not made of glass, Dunk.
Yeah.
Okay.
Strong
This
boy.
guy, okay, I know he didn't score this week or anything, but he's in the goals pretty regularly. And with Brighton keeping clean sheets, I think he's lethal as a defender.
He is a huge form. I don't think he'd be free, but that's again another informed player that you could be trading for,
Yeah.
taking advantage of. And against Palace, I'd be very comfortable playing him again.
Me too. Especially a weak Palace, defensively from set pieces,
Yeah.
they're terrible. And Dunk is like a bit of a set piece master.
Yeah, I agree too. I agree for sure. And I think Palace are going to struggle because even if Zaha comes back, they're just not looking very cohesive or
No.
not many goals. But there's not many points to raise for Palace this week because they lost 3-0 to Burnley.
Yeah.
Well,
No Zaha means no results.
Another thing to mention, just while we're on the Brighton defense, someone that I'm looking at, which is Ben White. No one has him in our league,
No.
and he's flown under the radar. But if you look at his last week, 6, 8, 6, 6, 2, 6. That's potentially an available player. So all of the Brighton defense is looking pretty good right now. So
Clean
agree.
as.
I agree. Awesome, boys. Let's wrap it up with a prediction. I think Timmy.
yeah, I'll wrap it up. Honestly, I think it's probably going to be 2-0 to Brighton.
I
Yeah.
like that.
Me too.
Again, no Zaha. We just said
Trossard
that.
in the goals.
I reckon Trossard and Veltman.
Veltman.
Yeah.
Nice.
Veldies.
Love it. Love it.
Yeah.
Well, boys, that's the last game.
That's it.
Another pod down.
Another one bites the dust.
Another one.
Oh,
Thanks for joining us, Timmy.
can I come back?
You can, mate. You can
100%.
always come back.
Look,
We've got
just
an
ditch
extra
Chris.
mic now.
Just ditch Chris.
That's what I'm thinking. We lock the doors
Yeah.
and then we just change the pod because
Yeah.
I got to say, Heato as the host just pulls it together so much better.
It was clean. I mean, we just cut
Thanks,
the
boys.
fat, didn't we?
Exactly.
Skipped the scores at the start,
I'll take that as a body compliment as well. Thanks, boys. I've been working out.
No, it's fun to be on again.
Yeah.
So thanks for having me and thanks for the good ratings on the Snack Chat.
You're welcome, mate. You killed it this week.
You did.
And guys, if you're still listening this late into the pod, join us on socials. Follow us on Twitter. Follow us on Insta.
Yep.
FPL Draft Boys. You'll find us. Same logo as the pod
Yeah.
on Spotify or Apple Pods.
And hit us up in the DMs. I've been having some crazy chats with some like pretty top blokes.
Are they sliding into your DMs?
Yeah, people have been sliding, and I've been sliding into other people's DMs. Before we go, I've been sliding into Paddy B, Patrick Bamford's
Have
DMs.
you got him yet?
Not yet.
Not yet. We'll
But
get him one day.
I just keep on sending him stuff.
One day we'll get Paddy B on.
But I have to say one last thing, and this is, I guess we'll throw it out to everyone who listens right now. We need to get something trending, which is called #Miles Loves Arsenal. That's the third shout out.
There we go.
Get it going,
No,
people.
no, no,
Miles,
no, no.
Let's do it.
#Miles
Let's do
Loves
it.
Arsenal.
Boys, don't listen to him.
Well done, Tim.
There was
well
the
done.
last one. There was the
Great
last one.
last